Hey guys, how's it going? It's Target here. Welcome to the inaugural edition of Target Talks, where you guys get to submit your questions to me, and I will answer them as truthfully as I can. Basically, I'll tell you the truth. I'll give you the answers to what you want to know, and hopefully you guys can learn a little bit more about me. I'll learn more about you guys. For now, enjoy the background play, which is OTP. Well, just I'm playing some games here anyway. So we'll get into the questions. So the first question is from the Cool J29. He says, what do you think about the Ryan Miller and Steve Ott trade? Who came out on top? Well, I don't think there's any doubt about it. St. Louis wins this trade by far. You pick up Ryan Miller, who's considered probably one of the best goalies in the game. I mean, he had a bad season this year, mainly because of the team in front of him. Despite all that, he still posted a really good save percentage, and he played solid in games. In fact, he won a lot, and he stole a lot of games for Buffalo. But if he's got a defense like St. Louis does, and the two-way play of their forwards like St. Louis does, in front of him playing hockey, that guy's going to be unstoppable, and you can already see he's off to a good start with his new team. Also, picking up Steve Ott, I've ranted and raved about Steve Ott, about how great he is as a player. He truly is one of the best face-off men in the game, one of the best agitators in the game. He gets under opponents' skins, and if he can play on your third line in a checking role out there, generating a little bit of energy, big win for them. So I say St. Louis came out on top. They gave up Chris Stewart, a big winger with a good scoring touch. You know, he plays physically. Everybody wants that, but that's something St. Louis has a lot of. It's physicality. So giving up Chris Stewart is okay to do that because they've got a lot of big bodies that can move around the ice. They also gave up Will Carrier. He's a less than point per game player in the queue. I foresee him possibly as a fourth, maybe a third line player in the future. You're going to have to give him 3 to 4 years. I mean, it depends. If he's an offensive player, I mean, he's a decent body. You know, he's about 6 feet tall, 185 pounds. He could get a little bit better. But it's hard to say at this point if he's going to be actually productive at the NHL level. It's a gamble. I'd say it's a good move by St. Louis. And then they gave up a first-round conditional pick for 2015. I'm assuming, and I haven't confirmed this, but the condition will probably be that Miller re-signs with the St. Louis Blues. I would think that would be the condition, and that's for 2015. That's the one piece of this trade that really intrigued me, was that that Buffalo didn't want to go after the first round pick for this year, for 2014. That is interesting to me. I get the conditional portion of it, absolutely, but they're going to get that pick. There's no doubt about it. It's just odd that it's a first round in 2015. So I think St. Louis came out on top. But you know what? Buffalo isn't really the loser in this one either. They still ended up with a prospect and a pick, and then they picked up Chris Stewart, who could complement their team quite well since he plays that two-way game that is so successful there in St. Louis. All right, moving along. The next question comes from Romario Thomas. He asks, "Do you have a kid?" No, I don't have a kid, not yet. One thing at a time. I should address that at this point, actually, that I'm getting married, and you guys all said congratulations. So I appreciate that. I actually leave on March 22nd. I'm leaving, heading down to the Caribbean. And I'm getting married in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. So that's where I'm going to get married. So that's why I am going out of town. Don't worry, there's still going to be videos every single day while I'm away. I won't be here. But to answer your question, Romario, no, I don't have a kid. All right. TBN Dynasty asks, do you live in Edmonton, and do you play hockey in real life? I do live in Edmonton. I've lived in Edmonton my entire life. Born and raised here, went to school here, all that stuff. Didn't leave for college even. Completed college at, university at Grant MacEwan. And, yeah, I don't get, in terms of do you play hockey in real life, I don't get time to play hockey anymore. I really wish that I could. I mean, I used to play it all the time. Now every now and then I'll get out and play some shinny, a little pickup game at the outdoor rink. But in terms of organized game, no, I don't get no time to play that. I'm so busy with work and my second job, which is this now, that I can't really possibly fill it in. I mean, I spend 4 days a week working and then 3 days a week recording. That's basically my life. So I don't have as much time as I would like. So no, I don't play. I do play hockey, but I don't play that much. Alex Epstein says, do you have Facebook? No, I don't have Facebook. I went with Twitter first because I find that it's growing in popularity. I think that it's easier for the face, like the name, myself, to reach out to their followers and their subscribers and whoever else is paying attention with Twitter, because you can send quick messages. Facebook's good, but I honestly have to tell you guys, Facebook might be dying. I don't see Facebook lasting more than 10 more years before something else comes in. Unless Facebook can stick on top of everything, all the new latest trends. That's the only way I see them hanging out on top. But yeah, you know what? I might explore Facebook, so don't be surprised if you see something pop up in the future. But right now, no Facebook. But follow me on Twitter. I swear to God, if you don't have it already, get it. It's so much better. News is so much quicker. I mean, you can use Facebook for like posting pictures and communicating with family, but Twitter is about getting news, learning about sports, following your favorite celebrities, see what they're doing, a little glimpse into their life. Whereas Facebook is more about, it's more official for people that actually create the pages. Like what I would do. It's more official and I don't know. I like to have a casual atmosphere that is Twitter. But so that answers your question there, Alex Epstein. But it might be coming. Brian Pereira asks, would you ever consider playing NHL Eastside Manager or Franchise Hockey Manager? Actually, you know what? I have considered this game a couple times. Now, the only thing is I have a Mac, and NHL Eastside Manager would basically be out because it never came out for the Mac. I would basically need an emulator to run the game, like a Windows emulator, and then buy Windows 7 and whatever else. And I don't know that I want to dedicate myself that extensively to the game. However, Franchise Hockey Manager is available for the Mac. I am aware of that one. I didn't hear very good things about that one and compared to Eastside Manager. For those of you who don't know, basically what Franchise Hockey Manager and NHL Eastside Manager are, is they're a GM sim, is basically what it is. It's really in-depth, lots to do, training, drafting, scouting, everything is involved in that, signing, and I mean, it comes as just like a generic game, but you can obviously, because it's on the computer, you can patch everything to make it, real NHL teams. I believe real NHL players are in there, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I have to do a little research into that. But yeah, I definitely would do something like that. I mean, it's an interesting game. It's intriguing. It has everything in it that NHL 14 does not in terms of its BGM. So it would offer me a completely different experience. And it would offer, I don't know how entertaining it's going to be because you don't have that actual, I don't know if you have that actual sim. I'm not 100% certain on that. But you don't have, the game tracker that NHL 14 offers, which really, you know what, when you think about it, it actually offers some in-depth excitement to the game. Some intensity, whether you like it or not. And we can jump in and look, watch the team race the Stanley Cup, and that's always exciting and always interesting to see. Presentation is everything, and it's what creates entertainment. I mean, I don't know how interested everybody would be in me going over menu after menu after menu of just numbers and names and stats and stuff like that. I just don't know how that would lend itself to in terms of entertainment value, but you know what? If that's something people want to see, I might be able to incorporate it into my already packed schedule, but you never know. So, Brian Pereira, to answer your question, you never know. We'll see. I'll put that question out there for this video as if anybody wants to see that series go up. All right, Jake Lewis asks me, and I like this one, what's your favorite food? Now, I don't know if this counts as a food, but it's definitely my favorite. My Achilles heel above all things is ice cream. Oh my goodness. I cannot get enough of ice cream. It doesn't matter how much I've eaten already. There's always room for ice cream. And it's bad because I always try to eat so healthy, but someone puts ice cream in front of me and I go crazy. I'm like a crack addict. But I love it, especially peanut butter and chocolate. Oh my goodness. If you get like a Reese peanut butter cup flavored ice cream, oh Jesus. If you guys want to send me some ice cream, I'd be more than happy to eat it. Or send me like a Groupon for Marble Slab or something. But yeah, no, ice cream is definitely my favorite. But if I were to choose a food, probably steak. If it had to be like a real food, it'd be steak. And I'm a big fan of goat cheese right now. Like, huge fan. If anybody's not had goat cheese before, you are missing out. People say that some people don't like it, and other people love it. I don't know how you don't like this food. It's amazing. Avocados. I love avocados. There are two things that are very popular right now: goat cheese and avocados. You'll see that in life. There's almost cycles where, pardon me, hit the mic. There's almost cycles where everybody is interested in the same foods, and so you'll see like Subway's doing avocado. You'll see many restaurants, like some of the nicer restaurants you go to, they're really pushing the goat cheese. So I've been hitting up that at every opportunity that I get. I love both of those things too. All right. Next question is actually, we're heading to Twitter over here, is R. Parendo. He said, do you play any sports growing up? Did you play any sports growing up? Yeah, I played soccer and hockey. I was better at soccer in terms of my play. I wasn't the strongest skater in the world, but I played club level soccer, tier 1 level soccer. That's basically the highest level you can go in terms of like the youth leagues down here. There's 2 different leagues. There's one in Edmonton anyway. There's ESA and there's EMSA. EMSA is basically like the lower one, and ESA is the higher one. And there's Tier 1 and Tier 2 ESA, and then there's Tier 2, Tier 3 EMSA, if I'm not mistaken. That's how it works. So I played Tier 1 ESA for a while and Tier 2 ESA and kind of bumped between those two. Played for a number of different clubs, but mainly actually towards the end of my soccer playing career, if I can call it that, we ended up playing just a community league, which is just like your basic level. But the funny thing was, at the age I was, at the time, I think I was like 16 or 17. And I can't remember when I stopped playing. It's been a while now. But 16 or 17, what we did was everybody that I played with in club soccer, all the really good players, we all joined a community league team. And we weren't the only ones to do that. A number of other community leagues that we competed against had like club playing, like full roster of club soccer players. So out of all the years I've played soccer, whether it's really highly competitive like ESA and EMSA, or you're playing community league, which is below that even, basically if you're it's like Div 4, Tier 4 is what it would equal. I think that was the highest one. Tier 4 was the highest level of community league, but we were always Tier 4, and it was always fun because the competition that last couple of years was so intense. We played some of the best players that I had ever played in my entire life. And some of these guys that I played with and played against went on to play actual professional soccer. I didn't pursue it as a career. I didn't want to do soccer. If I had committed myself a little bit more to it, I probably could be playing some kind of level of professional. I don't know if I'd be doing, as much as MLS, but I seriously doubt that. But I might be able to, some of the smaller leagues that are out there, I might have been competing in those, or at least competing for a roster spot. But I didn't want to do that. That wasn't what I wanted to do. There's a question later on that I'll address in terms of that, what I do in fact do. But anyway, I hope that answers your question there. Yeah, I played soccer. Actually, I played a couple all-star games too. They started doing all-star games at one point in the club levels, and I think 2 times I was pushed over to the all-star game for one indoor season and one outdoor season. Here in Canada we play indoor soccer as well because you gotta keep. I played all year round, played soccer all the time. It never stopped. I think you probably had 2 months a year where you weren't playing, so even more than the NHL. Next question, Philip Quinton. Wow, this name is unbelievable to me. For anybody that knows me personally, that's a crazy name. What do you think about the Luongo trade? Personally, I think it's the end of the Vancouver Canucks. Lack is a good goalie, but he's not an NHL starter. Markstrom is not an NHL starter at all. They're not even like a solid tandem. Like, Lack has had good play. There's no doubt about it. But can he carry this team that's had problems lately? I don't think so. I think Luongo was really the only reason the Vancouver Canucks were ever close in games. It's just a remarkable story that Roberto Luongo was basically the guy on the trading block, and no one wanted him, and so they traded Schneider. All right, fine. Then the team's committed to Luongo. You'd think they'd stick with that, but apparently that's not the case. They decided to abandon that program. They've gotten rid of Luongo. And really, brought back Markstrom and who was the other guy? A centerman. Oh, geez, I can't remember who it was. Can't remember who it was now. But I'm sure somebody will put it in the comments anyway. Big loss for Vancouver. And the fact that they were actively shopping Kessler, it makes you wonder how much is going to be done with this Vancouver Canuck team. Are we going to see the Sedin twins move? Will they go? Is that a possibility? Do the Vancouver Canucks admit that they need to rebuild and to readdress their team, become a more physical team here in the Western Conference? Because that's the way it is. They're getting out hit now. There was a game against Minnesota where literally, it was just a goaltending showdown. And it was the most boring game I'd ever watched in my life. Vancouver played like shit, and Minnesota played like shit. So unfortunately, you know what? Vancouver had a great run, solid team for many years, but I think that has come to an end. I think that is the end for the Vancouver Canucks. I picture a rebuild. The only question is, do the Sedins go to the same team? That's the only question I think left. All right, we only got a couple more questions left here. Enrico's creator. If you could make an NHL fantasy team with any player from any time, what would it be? Now, are you referring to like the whole team or, just one player? Because if it's the whole team, that's a huge answer I can't give you, and it's also not very visually stimulating. If it was a whole team, obviously I'd go with all the greats, but it's hard to say who you would choose. There's so many different players, but you know what? Being an Oilers fan, if I were to start a team with one player, it would be Wayne Gretzky. Just elite level vision. I don't even need to praise his name. Everybody knows actually, you know what? I shouldn't say everybody knows it. A lot of my subscribers are a little bit younger. I mean, you got like 97s, 98s, 99s. By the time you guys are old enough to actually watch hockey, Wayne Gretzky was gone. You never actually got to watch this man play hockey, where I got to watch him for, like a decade and a half of playing hockey. That's almost his entire year, or almost his entire career. I mean, talking like 15 years. And what an unbelievable player, even at the time. Would he be as competitive now in today's NHL? The game is way different. There's no doubt about it. He would still be at the top. He wouldn't be putting up 215 points in a season, but he would still be very much in the elite status, the stratosphere of elite players. Wayne Gretzky is who I'd choose for that. All right, the final question of today's Target Talks, and don't forget to put in your questions for next time. We'll try to do this maybe once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, depending on how many questions we get. Nick Wenzel asks 2 questions, and I'll do the first one. It says, what is your first name? My first name is Phil. I won't give you my last name. Somebody else asked about my last name. I'm not going to give you that. And the reason why is because of his second part of his question. I just don't. I mean, like, I trust everybody here, but I just don't need that getting out there to the world. What is your other job? So my main job, basically, is what I do full-time. I've never said this before because I've been scared about the repercussions, but I will say it. But I'm somehow, in some way, maybe, perhaps, involved with law enforcement. Maybe. I cannot confirm these claims, but possibly involved with law enforcement. That's why I don't give my last name. That's why you just know me as Phil. I don't need that kind of publicity coming back on me, just in case. I mean, I work in a very sensitive area where a lot of information can be problematic, especially for a career in it, if I do indeed continue to pursue this. So, dropping my shit. So that's what I do, for any of you that have been wondering. I love my job. I think it's a great job. It's interesting. Every single day that I go to work, it's different. It may be the same processes and, the same paperwork, but the job itself is one of the most entertaining, really, it's entertaining and rewarding experiences I've ever done. And, I mean, I tell people stories about what happens at work, and they're shocked. They're shocked at what you can, like, they don't believe it. They think that I'm joking around when I say some of these stories. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm not going to name names or anything like that, but I've witnessed people throwing shit. They're human shit. I've witnessed people wash their face with their urine. That's the kind of crap I'm talking about that I've witnessed. And that's just the beginning. That's not even including all the number of people that have HIV and hepatitis and MRSA, which is a flesh-eating disease. It's retarded. For lack of a better word, it is completely retarded. And I tell people these stories and they really don't believe me. But trust me, guys, it happens out there. It's nuts. It's a crazy world. I'm glad to be a part of it. You know what? I really am glad to be a part of it. I go to work and I laugh because, and everybody says that people on that side in that job, in the law enforcement world, have a dark sense of humor. And it's true. You really do. You have to insulate yourself from all the negativity that happens in that world. You have to try and find the humor in things. So if you ever see somebody like a police officer or a peace officer or a prison guard or something like that, if you see somebody like that, laughing at what you would find inappropriate, it's not about being rude. They understand the gravity of everything that they deal with. I understand the gravity of everything I deal with. But it's just to cope. It's to keep your head level, because if you do not, attack every situation with that same frame of mind, you're going to go crazy. It's just not the job to be doing that in. Anyway, guys, I hope that answers your question. So I'm going to leave it at that. Please put questions down below. I love to do these videos for you guys. This 20 minutes went really fast, so I want to be able to bring you some more if I can. So I'll leave it there. Until next time, I'm Target Audience, and I'll see you guys out on the ice.